Alright, welcome to the Nautilord Enjoys Guide to Souling Myrkul. The build I've got with you is a 6 paladin 4 wizard. I want to go through the build at the end of the video, because I just want to get straight into the fight, quite honestly. So we've got our 4 summons, got us, we've got Scratch, free nail him, we've got Azza because he looks cool, we've got the Earth Elemental for that sweet AoE bludgeon damage on these Myrkul over here. And yeah, let's just get straight on for this. So pre-casting, of course, you want protection from evil and good because it's crucial in this fight. When they're going to cast Mirror Image, going to cast Valve Empty in ourselves for the advantage. Going to cast Mid Hand for a haste spell grenade. You'll see that in a second. We're going to invis. We're going to push and fly. We're going to order sharpness. Honestly, you don't have to do it all here as long as it's done before you hit this mind player. I just get paranoid that I'm going to forget it because it has happened in several different fights in runs before. So when I've got a little collection of things to add on, I want to make sure they're just on there. You know what I mean? This fight is going to take us 10 turns. Keep in mind I'm in turn-based mode. That's to keep the mage hand. We don't want to lose time on the mage hand, so we want to minimise the amount of downtime on the mage hand in terms of our turn-based. Got the haste ball grenades down here. Now, right now, I'm going to pass turn. In fact, I'm just going to come straight out and I'm just going to clock this mind player. Nice. So we'll do the dialogue just when we fear him parasite, and then we get persuasion. And this is where you want to save our initiatives because it's a hard one. I can't remember if I read the book, but we've got loads of charisma, so we're fine. Alright, skip through that. Go back to the mage hand. Go back into turn base because lost 3 turns since all of that. And then we want to take out turn base, and we want to throw. Oh no, we don't want to do this yet. Sorry. Wait, hold on. He can chill there. He can chill there. What we want to do is just to get it done. Is get Scratch and running through an invis pot. But I want to kill this my player first. Not using Look at the Far Realms. Not using a crit. What we are doing is flying straight over to Myrkul. Now we go to the hand. And now he can take one of these. How many turns I've got left on this? 4. We are alright. Want to go in turn based again, just to make sure. 2 left. We might have been a bit far away, yeah. Hold on. We'll be alright. We'll be alright. Right, so want to get me, don't want to get Myrkul. Got me, didn't get Myrkul. Good stuff.
Where do I go from here?
Right. Now, because of the turns left, and because of where Scratch is at, it might be a case of we lose the mage hand. Now, the reason we don't want to lose the mage hand and the reason that there is 2 haste ball grenades is that for some reason, because the mage hand's out of combat, I think this is why his haste ball grenade is considered out of combat. So it is not subject to these turns. So it's going to be a case of we might just end up losing this hand a bit earlier than we wanted. We did lose the hand. Honestly, not the end of the world. Still get a turn of it. That's nice. And we've also got a speed pot if we need to, which is fine. Now what we're going to take all these guys and we're going to run them up too. We're just going to spread them out because we don't want that scythe cleave. Now you can go for concussive smash. If it does in fact lower his AC, so it will lower it by 2. So I guess we can go with a concussive smash. We got it, but he isn't No, he's not dazed, which is fine. They're not really here to do anything special, honestly. These boys are here to do... The ones at Myrkul are pretty much just there to take random hits and try and take a reaction. So we don't really need them to do damage. We just need them to either take a reaction hit or die for us. That's fine. Now, the reason I like the Earth Elemental is because its AoE is bludgeoning, which means didn't get great rolls this time round, but you can get some good rolls on him. Scratch, he's going to jump down there. We just want to try and lock up the mind flayers a little bit. If it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. They're mind flayers, they're brain boys. Take us. Need us on a solo run. If you don't have us, there's no point doing it. Us is just the best in the world. Look, he misses sometimes. Again, because of how it works, you can take another attack out if you want. Low chance is not really going to hit anywhere. Same with the summon. Right, now we are hasted. As you can see, the haste ball grenade is gone. Because of the way the mage hand and weird stuff figures out. So we're just going to hit him normally, like this, and I'm going to smite him. Oh! Well, that is a sad time. Big smites. But we're a paladin, so we do insane amounts of damage. Why not?
Now you wear a face to match your soul, Oathbreaker.
Elemental. He's more AoE. Kills 1, 3 alive. They're all going to die next turn anyway. And want to try and get a reaction hit out of this guy. Actually, I might put him there. Just try and bait in the side. That would be quite nice. We are going to take this hit, which is honestly fine. I have all faith that we'll prevail. Arcane Ward taking the damage for us there. Very, very nice. And honestly, oh, got another miss. There's not a lot to it. It's with Paladin. We did a lot of it to fair. This fight is fairly simple. Summons are distracting their summons, while you just smash the shit out of Myrkul. Oh, that's hilarious. That is interesting. I like that. They're gonna go pester beard alien. Not the end of the world. Honestly, I'm just gonna try and charm it just to get rid of that prompt. Attack of opportunity. Lovely. Oh, you do your little run as well. Get a cup of tea. Get a sip of my tea while doing all this. Go on, Erlin. We'll take it. Hey, we'll take it. 2 in a row. 2 in a row. Who'd have thought? So yeah, we're gonna fucking elemental warp down here. AoE, dead. Nice. Go on, us. Get a hit on him, pal. Ah, what a shit. And yep, we're just gonna hit him. Hit him and smite. That's just it. Just keep hitting him. Hit him and smite. There we go. Didn't even use smite there. But yeah, that's Myrkul Paladin. Not that big of a deal. Bludgeoning gets passive resistance with all the sharpness. Paladin's a paladin. You know, with the wizard you get high level spell slots, there's higher smites. Don't overthink it, just hit him. Right, so let's take you through the build. So paladin, we're gonna go Gith for mage hand, and Gith can just have Gith are just kind of nice in general. We like Gith. We like Gith and half elves. Gonna go the vengeance now. Throughout your run, what I can kind of recommend, if you want to save yourself some money and shit, is when you inevitably break your oath, if you're not trying really, really hard not to break your oath on the solo run, just stay. You can either stay Oathbreaker and just rock Oathbreaker, or you can pay to get back into your oath. But it racks up. You're gonna end up spending a lot of gold. Get your oath back. So this is up to you. Honestly, Oathbreaker or Vengeance, both have their merits. Yeah, I'll leave it up to you. I prefer Vengeance, I'm gonna say. Might be due to a lack of experience. I haven't played that much Oathbreaker either, so I need play about with it to know properly. Now stats, keep in mind we are at Myrkul here and we have the Shah buff. Strength, going to drop that to 8 because it's going to get put 27 with a cloud giant elixir. Dexterity, 14. 14's enough. You know what I mean? It's not adding to your armor because we're wearing heavy armor. Initiative and all that is great, but we want points elsewhere. Constitution, con saving throws obviously, although we are a paladin, so we do get the aura protection, so we've got plus whatever to our wisdom saving throws. In this case it should be 6, going off where the Shah buff is at. Also anti-ethel hair is going to charisma, bring it to 17, plus 5 from the Shah buff, that's 22. Wisdom, 12, wisdom's irrelevant for Myrkul, but as a general rule, I wouldn't, unless you're level 6 paladin and higher. Don't really like having this low. We don't want to get a held person and then just never be able to get out of it. Charisma, pre-6, not that big. Spellcasting modifier, yeah, maybe using scrolls and stuff like that. But quite frankly, my philosophy is with the paladin is smite everything, and you'll be fine. Just smite everything. Crucial spells now and then, yeah, but pretty much just smite everything. At 6 though, you want to pump that. You want to pump the hell out of it. You want those extra saving throws, especially for this Shah fight. Especially for the Shah buff for this fight. Alright, level 2, we're going to take Great Weapon Fighter. Spells, obviously good, nice, can be great. I'm not a big fan of these, quite honestly. I'm not a huge fan, especially when you get a decent weapon. I'd rather have my bonus action. I just don't like expanding action and a bonus action, and also having to concentrate if it's these two. Generally, if you're going to use one, if you've got concentration, it'll be this. Knocking them prone can be nice and get advantage, but I personally don't like the fact that it robs your action, your bonus action. I don't know what it's like on the math in terms of damage, but I'd rather get 3 attacks and 3 smites with 3 separate crit potentials. Obviously, as you can see on my head is diadem, so there's that as well. So honestly, I'm just going to take whatever for this for now. We're not going to be using it anyway. We get this. This is huge. This is absolutely massive. This is why Oath of Vengeance is nice. You can just have 10 turns of advantage by casting it on yourself. Of course, you can cast it on an enemy for 10 turns of advantage against that specific enemy, but cast it on yourself and it's on everyone, so do that. Meh, we don't want that. Meh, we don't really give a shit about that. I don't anyway. Jump's nice. Cool, we like jump. We get another Lay Hand spell, which quite frankly, I never use. I never use this. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I just don't. Feet, easy. We want Great Weapon Master. That's a no-brainer. Again, strength is backing that up, and stuff like Bless Ring when you're not doing Myrkul fight is also great. But hey, if we don't use it in Myrkul fight, I don't care. Level 5 extra attacks. This spell we do like. We do like this spell. I'll explain that a bit more in a second. Also very nice. Also very nice. Helmet of Arcane Acuity in a run can work well with this. If you don't know what that is, Google it. You'll instantly see how nuts that helmet is. Good for Hag. Nice. So you don't have to use an elixir for it. Or the ring, if you haven't got the ring yet. But why wouldn't you? Yep, I don't care about these spells right now. I only care about... really, the ones I actually care about are... what I should be doing is... these two. They're the only ones I care about. We'll have scrolls for this, but personally only care about these two. This one can be nice. Again, not a Myrkul, so we don't care about that. Huge. Aura protection, really good. Just a flat addition to our saving throws. Paladin does something really well if you consider using the risky ring. If you haven't got your 10-third advantage, risky ring gives you disadvantage on saving throws. If I remember correctly, mathematically that's on average that's a -5. So this, depending on what your charisma is, can help counteract risky ring. It makes it less risky. What am I doing? I just clicked the wrong thing. No, I didn't. I'm 7. I'm fine. Relax. It's fine. So we're level 7. Now we're multi-class into wizard. Cantrips. It's Myrkul fights. I don't really care. But cantrips are like friends is handy. Friends is nice. Minor illusion. If you really want a ranged option, you've got firebolt and all this kind of stuff. Don't like that at all. Especially not as a paladin. I've seen one way of using this, and I've seen one. You know what I mean? So it's whatever. I like light because it looks cool. So do with that as you will. Spells, again, if you're really going to take something, it's shield. We've already got that. I generally, how I figured this out for my paladin run, because my paladin isn't really a spellcaster. The wizard side is just bolstering his spell slots, and you're going to see the Arcane Ward come into play as well. I go shield, jump's nice to have a recast. You can do it once per long rest. Now it's multiple. Long strider, obviously. Featherfall, yeah. At this point, if you want to go for some damage, chromatic orb can be nice. If you really care, I don't care about this stuff. Magic missile for taking out those pesky ranged characters if you really want to. So generally, do whatever you want. I'm just picking randoms right now. Prepared spells, we don't care about that quite yet. Now, subclass, we're going Abjuration because we want Arcane Wards. What is Arcane Ward? Arcane Ward, every time you cast an Abjuration spell, you get a stack of Arcane Ward equivalent to... Is it equivalent to, or is it double the spell's value? Can't remember. We'll find out in a bit. You try it out. Get your answers. Don't care about any of these spells. Personally, I'm not here to spellcast. Go for the utility. Our intelligence is pushed off by Shah buff. But yeah, when you don't have the Shah buff, you're going to have no intelligence anyway, so these spells aren't really going to come into play. If you see anything here that you like, that you want to have in the back pocket, Mirror Image, Cloud of Daggers, and Enlarge, when you don't need protection from even good or something like that. If you want to go Fireheart, you can go Scorch Ray, whatever, but we don't care. It's not what we're doing in this run, so in this fight, so we're just going to keep pumping whatever, and feet. Right, nice. So feet. We're going to go... So, you can go Savage Attacker, wherever it is. I'm going to go Savage Attacker. I quite like this. I quite like a Savage Attacker. Just for pushing that damage just a little bit more. If you don't want to do that, quite honestly, you don't really need to. You will be fine without it. You could push your Constitution for help for those concentration saving throws. Same again, you can pump your Wisdom for your... In fact, if you pump your wisdom, yeah, don't pump your con. You don't need the HP. Pump your charisma because you'll get it from the saving throws. It'll go to everything. If you're gonna put points into stats as a paladin, as a solo, and you're gonna be using strength elixirs if you want. You're kind of gimping yourself. So you're gonna have strength elixirs. So you don't need to push strength. That's your main damage dealer. So you might as well push charisma and just get things like diadem, like the saving throws. If you want to go some weird build using. The Infernal Rapier and all that, you can go for that, but I'm not that too fussed. If you want to talk about safety, push your charisma, get the saving throw, but when I did this fight, I had Savage Attacker, so Savage Attacker I'm going to go. That's the build, and if I'm being perfectly honest with you, what you'll actually need in this build, wanted any of this, wanted that, and you can take a Featherfall to do before that fight if you want, but you don't need any of those. You don't need that or that or that. You don't need any of these either. All you really need is protection from even good. Now, and also aid. That's nice to have as well. Right, I'm back. I just had to check my dog. So what you can do, before you come down here, there's a long rest pod. You can save enough spell slots to cast a few of these. Now I've got 4 Arcane Ward. Right, I'm just showing you. Now I've got 6. And then we get to the maximum. Just use the highest if you've got the highest. But you can just, I'm just showing that you can use your highest for the fights while coming down this area and save these for Arcane Ward. Now we're level 4, so the max stacks we can have is 8. Just to show you that, I'm going to cast another one. Doesn't go up. What Arcane Ward does is, if you don't want to read it, I'll explain it. Based on that number, that's how much flat damage reduction is going to be taken away from an attack. If you get hit and it does 10 damage, Arcane Ward is going to stop 8 of it, and then the Arcane Ward will tick down a stack, so it'll go down to 7. You then get hit again, it'll reduce that damage by 7, and then go down to 6, and then so on until it's gone. Now, right now, because of our level split, the only thing you can, you'd have to have a look, but generally speaking, the only thing that's really going to give you Arcane Ward stacks is protecting from evil and good. I believe it's level 5 wizard, if I can remember correctly. Glyph of Warding. When you get Glyph of Warding, that gives you ways to keep your stacks up mid-fight. It's, quite frankly, with the idea of this build, what I was going for, that was the only spell I was casting. Glyph of, you know, it's a level, is it level 3? I'm going to assume it's level 3, I can't remember, I don't know. When your stacks start dropping a little bit low, say you're going to cast a level 3 Glyph of Warding, let it get to 5, and then, oh, okay, I'm going to cast a Glyph of Warding, bump it back up again. That's the next 3 attacks with flat damage reduction. It's really nice. Right, gear. So we've got the Dynamo Arcane Synergy. This is adding flat damage to our attacks when we apply a condition. We'll do that via Illithid powers, or I think you just threaten him when you get close to him. So for us, that means it's adding 6 damage per attack, which is only 6, but it's nice. You know, and I'll look at the other options in a second when I run you through the build. Cloak of Protection, obviously saving throws armor class. Adamantine Splint Armor to stop those melee crits in case he actually goes for one. If you get crit, it can put you in a bit of a, you know, if it's a big meaty crit, it's a bit scary. Reeling, yeah, it's nice. Flat damage reduction again. Flat damage reduction is also stacking with Arcane Ward. Or at least I believe it is. I'd have to check that, but I would assume it does. We need combat logs. If you run this setup, check combat logs and find out. Hell Gloom gloves. Helldust gloves. Again, this is on the test build. This isn't a run. This is just a test build. The test save, so we can run you through fights as we did them. As you start seeing new classes, they'll be from actual runs. 1d4 fire damage, strength saving throws. Stop us getting knocked off. Very nice. Evasive shoes. Acrobatics we don't care about. AC we do. Very nice. Amulet of the Unworthy. Amulet of the Unworthy. We just make us vulnerable to bludgeoning, but nothing does bludgeoning. Makes us resistant to slashing. Myrkul's got a big slice that slashes you. Killer's Sweetheart. Kill the Mind Flayer, get a crit, although I didn't get it on this fight for some reason. It just didn't give it to me. So that was interesting. Free crit on top of Look of the Far Realms. Ring of Protection, AC, saving throws again, very simple. It's just the same thing. But that's what we want because we want to keep up this. This is the big one for this fight. You need to have this. If you're playing without this, you're taking unnecessary risk. Great unnecessary risk. Now, the options to swap out, instead of Diadem, an Adamantine Splint Mail, and +1 Maul, both awareness, initiative, that's all that for. +1 Maul, because it's a Maul, does bludgeon damage. It's the best damage we can do at this point in terms of bludgeoning. It's got a +1, at least, that I'm aware of. If there's some other obscure little weapon, by all means, drop it in the comments and let me know. Now, the swap out is Grim Skull for the anti-crits, which is nice. Dwarven Splint Mail for the +2 Constitution. It gives us extra saving throws. It's got X +1 to saving throws. Strength saving throws checks. Saving throws nice. And take 1 less piercing damage. Irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. But the armor itself, this is, especially with the Doom Hammer, that's going to stop him from healing. You're going to have +1, so your chance of missing is going to be higher, although you will have advantage. But I still personally prefer the +1. If you're going to ask me which one should you use for the first time doing this fight as a paladin, I'm going to tell you Doom Hammer. It's just much safer. I have experience with Paladin and Myrkul, so you swap out that as well, and that's what that would look like. Doomhammer, Dwarven Splint Mail, Grimskull Helm, anti-crit. So it's very similar, but this is more damage orientated. Very slightly. It's very slight, right? You know what I mean? And this is just the only option for anti-crit at this point because you can't use a shield if we're not using Grimskull Helm and a two-handed weapon. This is more damage orientated, but it's whatever. Do what you want. We recommend Grimskull Helm and Dwarven Splint Mail, and the Doomhammer. We were talking about this like actually, because we were comparing what I did run versus what would probably recommend. There you go. There's the build. There's the fight. There's the setup. There's how you're gonna kill Myrkul as a paladin in a solo. If you want to see us doing duos and solos runs live, you can head over to Nortlord Enjoys at Twitch. Obviously, you've got the YouTube here. We'll be getting shorts up as well. Hopefully, they'll be coming fast at you soon. Nothing else to say, really. Now I'm just kind of babbling at the end of a video. Yeah, all the information's out there. There's probably more that you'll learn on the way. But here's what we've figured out. Not uniquely, but for us. Anyway, go to our stream. Watch us die.